Hi guys, how's it going? So today, be warned, there is potentially a lot of spoilers in this video. If you do not want to see what is coming up in the next chapter of Scrap Mechanic, I would advise you basically stop watching now. DevBlog 20 is here, and with this DevBlog, they are releasing a lot of sneak peeks of what is to come in Scrap Mechanic. So if you don't want to see what is potentially on the horizon, stop watching the video, go watch one of my others. If you are interested, and you do want to stick around and you're not bothered about what we see and what we find out, you're in the right place. I'm literally going to go through it, grab the link from their Twitter account. We're going to pile on through and we're just going to literally have a look and I'm going to read through and see what's what. So here it is. This is basically what you come to when you open it up. And as you can see straight away, front and center, pow, under that title, we've got something new. Looks, in my opinion, looks like a little bit of a tote bot. This, for the people who follow them on Twitter, this is what they teased. As you can see underneath that big red banner that says DevBlog, you got that weird green goo, which was teased a little over a week ago or a little under a week ago on the Scrap Mechanic Twitter. And that is what it is. We've also got a little bit of a blurb, a little bit of right here. It says 2020 is coming to a close. And we're here to end it on good note with a special devlog. Here are some of the things that we've been working on since the release of Scrap Mechanic Survival Mode earlier this year. Scroll down. To start, we have been hard at work on the next chapter, and we will be announcing its official name at a later date. But until then, here are some of the things we've managed to liberate from the Scrap Mechanic HQ's secret drawing board. And as you see, there's going to be a series of pictures that follow through, and we might recognize some of these pictures. So this very top one, they dropped, I think it was around August time, was a sneaky peek of what this was, and there was a lot of speculation of what it could be, and a few people said it looks like a mine. Well, the following pictures underneath seems like we have hit that nail on the head. As you can see, we've got some underground areas. These look very interesting. They're whole new biomes to us. They're areas that we've not really heard or had any information about, but there is a new kind of underground situation going on right here. We've got a couple of pictures here that go through it. A nice little seemingly in-game shot right at the top here. And as we come down towards the bottom, this is like an artist rendition of one of the areas. That looks a bit gooey. It looks to be some sort of mining bot on the side, on the right-hand side of the wall there. And then obviously you can see the broken pipe work that's kind of filling it up with who knows what in there. Then a bit further down again, we've got some actual what seems to be screenshots from in-game. As you can see from the screenshot here with the Scrap Mechanic, there's a lot of new flora and fauna. There's a lot of new grasses, a lot of new plants, and obviously different rock type. We are underground. We do have that interesting kind of rock type to it. Interesting to wonder where the light is coming from. Also, it's got that kind of white-blue tint to it, but who knows what it might be. Interesting wide shot of the area so we can actually see how it pans out a little bit better. That's a very open, lots of high areas. Maybe we can put farms on this. I doubt it. We're not outside. We need that sunlight, don't forget. So it's going to be interesting to see what's available in here. It also looks like towards the bottom of one of those structures on the ground, we do have a few little ponds here and there. So there does seem to be water maybe inside these things. That's very interesting. Wonder what we'll be able to do when we're in here. Couple of artists, I say a few artist renditions of various things. These are awesome. These are quite nice. I like these. There's an interesting one here on the right hand side that's got a potential for what seems like a vehicle sketch on the wall pushing a ball upwards. This is interesting. There are some very intriguing drawings here. Let you guys just soak that in. Tell me what you think. Scroll down a little bit more again, and we've got in a big old blurb right here, as you can see, going underground. This new location includes new adventures and gameplay options that we can't wait to share with you. This new chapter of survival mode adds new quests and NPCs. We're going to potentially be looking at new bots. New NPCs that will take you to the next stop in your journey, the mining island. It's an entire island. This is fantastic. For the first time in Scrap Mechanic history, you'll be delving deep into the planet's mines to uncover new, big secrets. Interesting. I wonder what they could be. New NPCs, they're leaning towards new bot types. This could be good. Here's a sneak peek into some features and concepts of the underground that is currently in progress. So it's still in the works. This is just all to build a little bit of excitement around Chapter 2. This is very, very interesting. Whole new biome completely, an entire island. It's going to be interesting to see what they're adding in here, see what they're bringing. We carry on scrolling down and we see what was at the top of that dev blog. This is our new thing. Looking at this picture right here, we see he's on the top of a warehouse. To me, in this first photo, is trying to get a gauge of size. It's hard to tell how big he is. Potentially, he's totebot size. He seems to have that totebot structure, 4 legs, kind of square head thing going on. But he's got those arms. If you see from the packaging station, you know, those ones that we shoot the vegetables and stuff into, it's got those kind of things there for arms. And if we scroll down to this artist renditions, you'll see actually the little red guys are our scrap mechanics, and then the size of that thing, he's a lot bigger than a totebot. He is a lot bigger than a totebot. So interesting to see what more there is to give, but we'll go down and there you go. That's, I suppose, the one that we want to see. This is something that's going to give us a little bit of scale. So you can see here the size of our scrap mechanic versus the size of our robot, and it's different, isn't it, really? You can see the scale difference. It kind of just puts it into a bit of perspective. And for me, it kind of still gives it that look of the packaging station from the front, where you've got like the chute or the door or whatever that will kind of fire out the packaged vegetables and whatnot, to the big clump of whatever it is in the back. Interesting stuff. And if we go down again, you can see here from a sideways artist rendition that it is some sort of recycle bot. And all that stuff inside of it seems to be trash or garbage or whatever you guys want to refer to it as. So potentially this bad boy is going to be recycling stuff. Who knows what it's going to give us. As we go a bit further, we can see though, he's not very friendly. He's not very friendly at all. He's going to be shooting some sort of slime at us. And this artist rendition is pretty funny. Shows his little scrap mechanic guy trying to zoom away from it. And if you go a little bit further down, you can see that potentially, well, he might have 3 different attacks looking at this. So he might have these little cannons that shoot the slime, and then maybe there's this like ground stomp effect that he's got in this second picture here, where it seems to like he's slamming down and he's sending out a wave of slime towards us. And then finally there is a barf ball that kind of rolls. This will be very interesting to see what this thing does and how this thing works. But this could be a lot harder to fight. This will be very, very interesting. Also tells you here how we can go on about destroying it. And if you look here, this is very interesting. So it blinks, and when it blinks, it says to shoot the eye. And then it said the head falls out, and then you kind of whack in the energy source with a hammer. That's very interesting. It's called a trash bot. It's a good thing Scrap Mechanic doesn't come with a smelly vision, including the biggest bot we've made so far is the trash bot. This smelly clanker is very first boss of the game. Rumor has it that you can find it on the warehouse rooftop collecting junk. If you do run into him, you best have your spud gun at hand, or you will end up in the trash with the rest of the smelly produce. That's interesting. So they are looking at this guy as a boss, which means the farm bot, he's not actually a boss. So if you guys have been having struggles against the farm bot, just let that sink in. That's not even what they're classing as boss. So it'll be interesting. Starting to see some new things. Now, very clearly, these are looking like wheels. But what is this green goo on them? That is a very good question. We can see there is potentially 5 different types, or at least that's what it looks like. So it'll be very interesting to see what these things differ, why these things differ, and what they can offer us. But this is a glimpse at a first potentially useful part. As you see down here, our little scrap mechanic, he's got some new wardrobe items on by the looks of it, but he's also using some of these new wheels, and they are calling them sticky wheels. New update, new parts. And these wheels will be a lot of fun. With the help of a new sticky wheels, you'll be putting together vehicles that can dig and drive in every direction, so you can go deeper than any mechanic has ever gone before. So potentially then, these wheels might help us go up and down walls, maybe. I guess it might depend on the weight of our vehicle, but if they're that sticky and they're saying that we can dig and drive in every direction, this is going to open up some interesting ways around the world. Be very interesting to see what these can do, especially when you bear in mind there was that image at the top that had a drawing of a vehicle going up the wall pushing a ball, so that'll be very interesting to see. I'm only into Scrap Mechanic as of survival. I've never played the creative, but I am aware that there was a red towbot head, and here we have a red towbot. Interesting enough, he is balancing some explosives on his head. Make of that what you will, but he looks a little bit like a dangerous character. The red guy, a new challenger, explodes onto the scenes. It's the latest addition into the Totebot family, the red Totebot. These canisters on its head explode on contact. Ooh, so make sure you keep this one at a distance. Pro tip, try getting it with a few well-placed spud shots before it gets too close. Nice. So basically, he might be quite easy to take out. If we can just pop him with a few spuds into the explosive canister, hopefully that shall remove him. Interesting little creature. He might be quite quick though. It should be interesting one to deal with. Hopefully we get some more blocks to add a little bit of resistance, and there's a little bit of balance brought in there, but who knows until all the stuff actually makes it into the game. If we scroll down a little bit more, what we've got here is we seem to have a new plant, new seed, something awesome. It's quite obviously a chili. And if you read the little bit of a blurb underneath it, that is exactly what it is. Hot chilies. With great chili comes great responsibility. This plant is definitely going to bring the heat on you and your farm, so make sure to give your base defenses a boost because those chilies sound like trouble. Just watch out the kind of bot it attracts. It sure looks a handful. Now I wonder if these chilies are going to bring in this new red tote bot or if there's going to be something else extra. With them saying it's too hot to handle, and you know, their chilies are known for being like hot and they kind of blow your head off if you have something too hot. Potentially that's where we could be going with the red tote bots. Very interesting. We've got a new, let's face it, it looks like a drill, but it's blue. Why is it blue? Interesting 3D image that we got there. Scroll a little bit further down and we've got the artist rendition there. And finally, if we come right to the bottom, we can see it here on a vehicle, on those sticky wheels we've got there. Interesting enough, look at this, it opens up into the artist rendition again. So you got the normal drill, then it seems to open up with 3 like cutting blades split apart, and then we have this green laser thing coming out of it. Looks kind of like a jet engine actually. Very interesting. So what they're saying about it? Plasma drill. The basic drill is a great tool to attach your vehicle for digging, but it can't break through some of the tough layers of rock in the underground. Interesting. Thankfully, it looks like the devs have got you covered. Introducing the plasma drill, a new part of your vehicle. With its added power and improved reach, you can bore through the peskiest underground bedrock. Did we forget to mention it's more comfortable to use than the basic drill too? That's interesting. I wonder then if you're going to have to be using stuff like plasma, I wonder what new resources we might be getting in the game. And I also wonder what they mean by it's more comfortable. Maybe it won't bounce us off so much. Maybe if it's got like this plasma cut-in, I don't know how they'd do it, whether it's like a flame or a light. Maybe there's no physical connection with the rock like we have at the minute, so actually it might be a lot easier to mine with. That could be very, very interesting. I mean, just looking at that vehicle right there, it definitely looks interesting. There's no two ways about that. So it'd be interesting to see where this could go. Towards the bottom, it looks like we've gone back into the warehouse. So we currently have warehouses. A big old fireball rushing towards us, what they're saying here. Warehouse changes. It looks like the devs are planning to update the warehouses. They'll be giving it a bit of a rework by changing a few things around and adding some new elements. For example, parts of the mechanics find inside at the moment, we can't move. However, they will be able to be taken after the update. But that's not all. The new warehouse will be including additional quests and story elements. That's good. So we might be getting a little bit more story and a bit more quests as this kind of gets released and stuff. Best watch out because things are going to get dangerous. A warning from the devs, the new update might cause the old warehouse key to turn into a circuit board. We will be introducing a new warehouse key in its place when the next chapter is out. So we have a big warning there, folks. If you are using the current key cards for base defenses or vehicles or anything like that, you have been warned that when this chapter drops, you might just end up with a circuit board where you've got those red key cards. Keep that in mind. These are the little tidbits of information that we need because ultimately, if you've built with this stuff as an impenetrable wall and a great defense, and you're going to load into your farm one day and you're just going to be surrounded by circuit boards, might be an idea to kind of look at potentially changing that sooner rather than later. Or ultimately, we don't know when this is coming out. Just go for it and hope for the best. New wardrobe update. As you can see, these things look a little bit different, a little bit funky. Wardrobe. What's an update without some brand new threads for your mechanic? The next chapter will be introducing a lot of funny t-shirt designs along with some special rare outfits. For example, take a look at the welder outfit that will be included in the next chapter. That's pretty good. For me, that looks like Scrapman's colours. I don't know if he'd enjoy that sort of clothing or not. I don't know if that's what he wants to do, but it's red and black. They're his colours, so it kind of works for me. And then again, it's right at the bottom. That's all we've managed to slip under the devs' noses so far. But remember, this is just a sneak peek into the motherload of content that the next chapter is going to contain. The devs have a lot more irons in the fire and they'll be bringing them out in the following devblog. So stick around for more awesome news. And then they send us on our merry way with a happy holidays and a see you later. Now that's all well and good. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that we've got plenty of new content, but my only biggest worry is it took them 4 years to go from creative to survival. How long is it going to take them to go from this devblog to getting it in the game? Hopefully, touch wood, it won't take them too long, but we never know. This is dangling a little bit of excitement and content in front of us, And it sounds like there is more to come other than what is here in this devblog. And I don't know when it will be, and I hope that we can get some of this stuff in the game. You know, I say sooner rather than later. I want them to optimize the game. I want them to get the base level of the game working at its greatest as well. I would prefer that before getting new content added in. I would love the game to be working as flawlessly as they could get it before sprinkling us with all this shiny stuff, but that's just my opinion. It is great to see that they have been working on new stuff. I'm intrigued to see where it's going to go or what's going to come out, but honestly, let me know what you guys think. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I shall see you next time in the next video. Take it easy and bye for now. Bye, guys.